our Salvation Army. So we are into our third DIY project, craft at home, and because this week is Mother's Day, we're going to be making a Mother's Day present DIY craft that we can give to our mums. And so what we're actually going to be making today is we are going to be making a flower pot for our mums. I'm going to be showing you two different ways to be making a nice crafty flower pot that we can give to our mums, and you can even use it to put things in, which I'll show you how to do a bit later. So what we're actually going to need today is we're going to be needing a few things. Again, because this is a different DIY, this is for our Mother's Day, there is a few more items that you'll need rather than just the normal four. So again, I'll drop those ingredients, or items I should say, in the comments below, the description, and at the start of this video. So let's get into it. So first of all, what you're going to need is you're going to need some pots. So I bought these pots from Bunnings. I found they're really good to use because we're going to be sticking things onto them. They stick a bit better. These were only $2.10 each. So I would definitely recommend going to Bunnings and getting these ones. And this is a nice size as well. So you'll need a pot. You will need two pots actually, because I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. Second of all, you're going to need your paper to stick onto your pot. So I went to Aldi and I bought, I'll just show you this pattern. I bought a whole roll of this pattern and a whole roll of this pattern for only $1.99 each. So this is what it looks like in the big, this one here, which is super pretty. And also this one here. How pretty is that? There's heaps of different colours, so I would recommend going to Aldi to get those. Second of all, you're going to need some glue to stick your patterns onto the pot. PVA glue will do for that. So some PVA glue, it dries clear, so that's what we're needing, some PVA glue. You're also going to be needing some Elmer's glue, because we're going to make our own Mod Podge, which is where our acrylic to set everything is. If you don't have Elmer's glue or you can't get some, just use PVA glue. That'll work too. It just means you can't leave it outside. So it could be an inside pot. But I'll be using Elmer's glue watered down, which I'll show you how to make that a bit later. Third of all, you're going to need some paint, some white paint, and also that's just for our ripped paper pot. You're also going to be needing a whole bunch of other paints for our second pot we're going to be doing. Whatever colours you want to use, it's totally up to you. So definitely a white paint, and then some other colours for our second pot, which I'll show you how to make a bit later. Another thing you can use, this is totally optional, is some washi tape, which I bought from Kmart. This whole roll was only $5. You can use glitter, you can use stickers, whatever you want, but I'm going to be using washi tape today for that. Another thing you'll need is something to put your glue in and your paint. So I'm going to be using this today, my paint tray for my my paint, and I'm going to be using this today for my glue to set it. So we'll be using a paint tray and a cup, which I'll show you again a bit later. Next, of course, you're going to need some paintbrushes to be able to do that. We're going to be using our fingers to start off today, but you're going to need your paintbrushes to paint the second pot a bit later on. And that's pretty much all you're going to need today, really. You'll need some water a bit later to do the setting glue. So let's just get straight into it. Okay, so you're going to start by opening up your PVA glue, and you're going to put it into whatever container you decide to use. So I'm just going to put it straight into this here. You really don't need a lot. So I'm going to start with, oh, the camera's not tilted down enough. Sorry, guys. I just put it straight into here. Now, this is going to get pretty messy. So what I've done, I put some paper down on the table that I'm using, and I'm going to make sure that my tray is also down on that paper. So let's get our pot right here, and we're going to turn it upside down. Now, the reason why we're doing this is so that it doesn't move. It's on the heavier side. Can you guys see that okay? Awesome. So what we're going to do is we are going to, let me just put this here so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to get your ripped up piece of paper. Sorry, I forgot to mention, you're going to need to rip up your pieces of paper so we can stick it on the pot. So I've got all my different designs here. And you're going to get your fingers. I know this is a bit messy. Parents, if you want your kids to use gloves, that's totally fine. I see it's easier to use just plain fingers for this. You can use a paintbrush as well, but glue paintbrushes doesn't always mix well. So fingers. And what you're going to do is you're going to get your fingers. I'll do this backwards so you can see. and you're going to mix it in the paint. Make sure you don't have any excess, and we're going to start by rubbing it on our pot. Oop, almost got my hair in the glue then. And rubbing it on the pot like this. Get a good amount on, and we're going to stick this on. See if I can do this upside down. And as you can see, you just stick it on like that. We're going to be painting this bit white here, kids. So, a bit more glue, make sure we get the whole area. Now again, this is upside down, everyone. So you've got to think about when it's turned up, what is it going to look like? And then you just want to go over the edges with a bit of paint to make sure that they are down like this. All right, let's do our next piece. See this piece here, how it's got a bit of a butterfly? So I'm gonna wanna make sure that the butterfly is upside down on this side, because when we turn it up, the butterfly will be up the right way. So a little bit more glue, like this. And I'm gonna put it over the paint. Overlapping the layers is actually really fun. And I like that kind of ripped look. It makes it look a bit more vintage. So I'm gonna put it upside down, so when it's turned up, that it's the right way. Stick that on like that. Look at that, guys, and make sure all the edges are down. Bit more glue. So I'm just going to show you right now what I mean by the upside down thing. So when you turn it back the right way, see how the butterfly's up the right way, like that? Perfect. So you're going to do your whole pot, and you're also going to do your top as well. So you're going to go all the way around your pot, making sure that you don't get any on here, and you've done the whole pot that way. I'm just going to stick on one more to show you. I find it easier that when you do the top, which I'll do now for you, that you bend it over like this. Put it up like that, guys, you see? And then making sure that there's no gaps. I'll fill this bit over here in a second, and then you bend it up like that. Use a little bit more glue to do this bit. Again, this glue dries clear, so don't stress too much about getting the glue on the actual thing. Again, you might have to go over it a little bit, because sometimes the paper will come up, and then just go over it with glue, and then that's how you do the top, like that. Amazing. So you're going to do the whole pot in whatever paper you have, making sure that you fill up the gaps, and also making sure that you don't get it on the rim. And then when it dries, I'll come back and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so my pot is fully covered, and I've let it dry a little bit. I don't know if you can see, and here we go. Here's the pot already done. I accidentally put some of my animals upside down, but that's okay. What I'm going to do now is I am going to make that acrylic setting paste and put it on my pot. So I'm just going to show you how to do that now. So I'm just going to put this to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a tablespoon. Forgot to mention that you needed that before. And I'm going to put in with my Elmer's glue. Again, if you don't have Elmer's glue, that's okay. You're going to put in 3 tablespoons of Elmer's glue to 1 tablespoon of water. So let's do that now. So I'm going to put in, wait for that to go in, 1, make sure that all goes in, wait for that to stop, 2, and 1 more, wait for that to go on, 3, again the glue's kind of running in, so I'm doing it a little bit rough, but that's okay. I know that Elmer's glue is a little bit better quality, and I guess that's why I'm using it instead of the PVA glue to do the setting. I'm just going to put my spoon to the side. Okay, I've just put 1 tablespoon of water in there, and you're going to want to mix this really well. So like how we make slime, and you've got to mix it really well for it to bind. You've also got to mix this really well. I find it easier to do this in a cup, only because you're mixing it so fast, you don't want it to splash out on your face. Mix that up really well. So when you pick it up, you want it to be runny, like that. If it's too thick, it's not going to work. So maybe add a little bit more water. Again, I'll show you what that looks like. See how it's more runny than glue? All right, and then what you're going to do is you're going to get your pot back, and this is when you want to use a paintbrush for this one. And you're going to get your paintbrush, dip it in, not too much, and then you're going to put it all over your pot. What you can do if you buy more than one pot, you can even make one for your grandma, or a friend or someone you know. And you're going to put this all over your pot, making sure you don't get too much on the part we haven't painted yet. So paint it all over. I would say do maybe, again, because it takes a while to dry, I would say do one coat and see how it is after. And if you want a bit more shiny, do it another coat. So I'm just going to do that now, and we'll come back when it's dry. Hi everyone, okay, we're back to paint our white on our pot. So my pot has dried completely, and the paint has dried, sorry, the glue has dried, and I've got everything done. See how it's nice and shiny? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to paint and decorate our rim for our mums. And then I'm going to show you how to write some nice things to go inside. And then we're going to do our next pot. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get some white paint. Now, if you want to mix your white paint with some glitter, go for it. And it can be a white glittery one, but just today I'm just going to paint mine white. And so we're going to put it, again, I've got it in my paint container. So I'm just going to do that now. Put it in there. I am using a paintbrush for this and not my fingers this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint around the rim. If it's not thick enough for your liking, you can go around it more than one coat. So I'm just going to go around the whole thing and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're back with our pot. It's just finished being painted white at the top. And this is the bit where your creativity can kind of come in, kids. So you can choose to either keep it white, you could put some ribbon around it. I've got some ribbon here. You could put some washi tape on it. There's lots of different options. So I'm going to get creative with my pot and post a photo in this video of the end result. But yeah, you can kind of do it however you want. I've got lots of things around me to use, and I hope you do too. No worries if not. I think it looks quite nice like this, doesn't it? But yeah, make sure you put some nice notes in the pot as well to give to your mum. Maybe you could put a nice card in there. I'm going to write down some nice things on some cardboard and put it in the pot. And then when I give this to my mum on Mother's Day, she has all these lovely things to take out and read. But yeah, so that is our Mother's Day first pot. We're going to get on to our second one now. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay everyone, so here is our finished pot that I've made. My pot has got sparkles on the side, which I've made. As you can see, there's a pin in the background because I've put a 3D love heart on the front. And so it's still drying, so I'm not able to stand it up for you guys right now. But this is what the Mother's Day pot looks like. Again, make sure you put some things inside, some nice little notes for your mum. What we're going to do now is I'm going to show you the next video where we're going to have our cat pot, which I'll show you how to make in a sec. Okay, see you soon! Okay, so we're back, kids. What we're going to do now is start our second pot. So what we need to do for this one, because we're going to be painting all over the pot, first of all, this is completely optional if you want to paint it white first or leave it more natural like this. But because I'm going to be using a lot of colours, I actually wanted to paint my pot white first. So I'm going to do about 2 to 3 coats. So I'm going to get my paintbrush and I'm going to dip it in some white paint I've put in my tray. And I'm going to just paint the whole pot. So again, it'll take about 2 to 3 coats to get it the colour that I want it to, because the pot is already brown. So I'm going to paint the pot and we'll come back when it's done. Great! We've got our white bowl ready for our second pot making. We're actually going to be making a cat pot. which is really fun. So the first thing we need to do is draw our cat design onto the pot before we paint. So I'm going to show you what a finished product looks like of the cat in the video now. So this is the pot that we'll be doing, this one on the right, but we'll be doing it in white like the one on the left. Let's get to it. What we're going to do is we're now going to draw on the cat design. So first of all, face your pot upwards, and what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 triangles here and here. So let me just draw them on. It doesn't matter if you do this in pencil because we're going to paint over the top. So we'll just put those cat ears on here. So it's just 2 triangles. So I'll just draw another one. So you want to put your thumb down, and it's going to be about a thumb across to the next triangle. Here. And here. So that's your cat ears, like that. It doesn't really matter how big or small the triangles are, as long as they're about a thumb width apart. So now we're going to do the cat feet. So what I've done is I've done 2 kind of oblong cat paws like this, 1, 2, and joined them in the middle, as you can see. And now what we're going to do is we're going to join this line to this line by going around the pot. So I'll just do that now to show you. Again, don't worry too much if you get pencil on the pot. It's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to paint over it. So I'm going to keep going around. Try and be as straight as you can. You can always fix it up with the paint. Keep going around to where the cat is. So here's my line. Okay, next. What we're going to do next is we're going to paint in the gaps. So my cat is actually going to be white, and it's going to have pink. Sorry, it's going to have pink up here, yes, and blue down here on that semicircle bit, and the rest of the cat's going to be white. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint up here pink and down here blue. So I'm going to go do that now, then I'll show you what that looks like, and then we'll do the face. Okay, now I have coloured my pot pink at the top, and I've also done blue at the bottom. I've accidentally got some paint in the middle, but that's okay. Our cat can have funky colours on it. So here we go, we've got that. What we need to do next is make our pot look like a cat, or our cat look like a cat. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a permanent marker. Sorry if I forgot to say this in the start of the video, to go around the cat-like features. So for instance, the cat ears. So what I'll do is I'll do this, and then I'll show you what I mean. So we get our permanent marker, and we just outline our cat ears. It's okay if you don't get this 100% straight. Like that. And we're going to do that all around the bit where it's a cat. So for instance, we're going to do it around the blue, under the arms, and then we'll do the face in a second. So I'm just going to do that now. So as you can see, I've done and highlighted around the whole cat. I've also given him a little tail. And now we're going to do the face together. So you can either use some paint for this, or you can use a permanent marker like I'm going to. I'm going to do a little paint for his nose, or her nose. And you can really do this any way you want to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start by drawing the eyes like this. So I'm going to do 2 semicircles on the eyes. Let me just get my bearing. And we're going to go 1, 2. Now because my cat is a girl, I'm going to do some eyelashes. I'll show you this in a second once it's finished. See there, I've done 2 semicircles and then dashed some lines off it. Now, what you're going to do next is we're going to do our cat nose and whiskers. So to do that, we need to draw a love heart for the nose, which I'm going to colour in yellow. So we need to do a love heart nose. Like that. And now we're going to do a little smiley face off the love heart. 2 more semicircles. Like that. It's got a little smile. And now we're going to do some whiskers. So just straight flicks out like this from the nose, a bit further out. So 1, 2, 3. And on this side, 1, 2, 3. And then we have our cat. It doesn't have to be perfect. See, mine's a little bit funky, but I kind of like it that way, don't I? It's very fun. So what we're going to do now is we're going to colour in the nose. So I'm just going to do that. And we also need to do the ears. I forgot about that. We're going to draw quickly before I do the nose. I'm also going to put 2 triangles in my triangle. And we're also going to colour those yellow. So we'll just join up that triangle like that. And I've got a yellow paint here, which I'm going to use to colour in the ears and the nose. Okay, so we've done our ears and our nose, and that's our cat done, cat pot done. Again, I hope you've had fun today making our 2 different pots. I've had a lot of fun making them and over the past 2 days. And I hope everyone has a great Mother's Day. Make sure you thank your mums a lot and put some nice messages in the pots for them kids. Have a great Mother's Day.